Hey everybody, take number 3. We have a very barky dog in the background tonight. On the table in front of us is the Civivi Asticus in Damascus. This is just a gorgeous knife. Look at this blade. I mean, is that not just beautiful? All right, so of course it's a Civivi knife, so it is made by we, which means in turn that it is a excellent quality knife. Like I said, you do have the Damascus blade and the drop point. As always, which tends to be the case with Civivi, you do have a hollow grind. And this is an acid etch finish. Finish, not finish. Just beautiful, like I said. You have carbon fiber black G10 laminate. It is a liner lock. Can we see that? You do have a liner lock on here, and it does run on caged bearings. Your liners are stainless steel. It is an ambidextrous tip-up carry with a deep carry pocket clip. So some people say I mention that all the time. I do. Some people it's very important to have a true deep carry. I am tongue-tied. A true deep carry pocket clip, and some people say they really don't care. Me, having the women's pants, and a lot of the times having to carry my knife sideways, I prefer to have it be a true deep carry just because it's easier. Unless I'm going to stick it in my back pocket, then I could care less. This is just a beefy knife. It is absolutely wonderful. A little bit beefy. I'm going to actually show you, well, I'm going to clean it first, the non-Damascus. And this is, these scales were not purple, were they? Therapeutic Edge? Weren't they dyed?
They were not. He dyed those purple.
What color were they? Do you know?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Tan, I think.
So we got this actually from Russell at Artisan. And he had dyed the scales, so we're not actually sure what it was. But this also is a D, well, this is a D2 blade. Obviously, that's Damascus. This is D2, also the hollow point. God, now you'd think I was talking guns. Hollow.
You okay over there?
I am not. I'm losing my mind. It is a hollow grind. I'm sorry. We were talking to people earlier about guns, and I think I have hollow point stuck in my head now. Oh, my Lord. Anyways. All right. So D2, hollow grind, satin finish. This one, obviously, Damascus, hollow grind, acid etch finish. This one is G10. This one is carbon fiber G10 laminate. Both are liner locks. Both are cage bearings. Both have stainless steel liners. Stainless steel. But we're going to put that one aside. This one is actually, I have to say thank you to the Apex Pass Around group. This one came from the Pass Around group, and it has allowed me to go ahead and do the review on it. I'm probably one of the last ones to do the review on this one. I believe they've been out for a little while. But just an absolutely gorgeous knife. Now, I would consider this on the larger end because it's just huge. So it is big. Okay, for my little hands. Let's do some measurements on it. Your blade length is going to be about 4 inches, and I believe they call this 3.8 inches. Closed, your handle length is going to be, we're going to call it 5 inches, so right about 5 inches, maybe just a hair over. And then your overall length, this is why I call it a big knife, is just over 8 3/4 of an inch. So they call it 8.81 inches. Now, it's a 3.88 ounce knife, so fairly light for its size, which I am impressed by. Very smooth, very, very smooth. And I'll try to stay on camera here. But this is a very smooth flipper. If we want to do a comparison, we've got the rat one, which I would consider a large knife. And as you see, the Asticus is just, well, let's go ahead and put it tip to tip on the line. It's a maybe, you know, with just under a 1/4 inch bigger than the rat as far as lengthwise. As far as blade length, it's just about the same. I mean, pretty darn close. Cutting edge wise, it's about the same. So again, I would call it a large knife if you want to compare it to the Benchmade. It makes the Benchmade look very small. Okay, so small bug out size, big Ontario rat size, and the Asticus, and this one is very filthy. The Asticus is definitely what I would call a large knife. Ergonomically, the handle, and I think it's because it has that little bit of a sway to it. So not much, it's just enough, but it feels really good in hand. Now, I've always said before that I'm a big fan of the jimping on the blade. There is no jimping on the blade, however, there is jimping on the liner. So that does make a little bit of a difference because you don't feel like your finger's going to slip off, and you can choke up on it. You also have a choil that you can choke up on. So you can, I mean, as you can see, what's that, a therapeutic edge?
Choke your choil.
Would you like to come over here, therapeutic edge?
No, that's fine, dear.
Okay. Was that yesterday? It's about a little over an inch out the back of my hand. There goes the dog. I have found that I am not allowed to laugh, and if I laugh, the dog will bark at me. I don't know what is going on. I think she's tired of being cooped up. All right, you guys, you've got some jimping on your flipper tab, and, you know, it's fairly, I'm not going to say super low profile, but it is, you know, smaller than some, if that makes any sense to you at all. It does to me, and that's what counts. Your width is about an inch. I'm going to call that 1.25 inches. So really, even though this is a large knife, it is very slim. I don't have a lot of Damascus knives. I like the look of it. I myself would be pretty darn afraid to sharpen it because my fear would be that I would ruin it. What I would probably do is hand it over to Therapeutic Edge, and then if he ruined it, then I can be like, oh, you ruined my knife. Again, I do love the length of this blade simply because it allows you to do so much more. Smaller blades, smaller jobs, larger blades, larger jobs. This one, I haven't done much cutting with it simply because the ones that come through the pass around group are not mine. They're not mine to keep. So I don't do a lot of hard use or anything with them. This one did cut a cardboard box, and just one, because again, I was very, you know, very skeptical about, or not even skeptical, but just being careful on the knife itself. But it sliced right through that piece of cardboard. I mean, just smooth like butter. It's a super smooth knife. Of course, you know, you're not going to get any less for Civivi, because it is a WE company. So you can expect to get a great product out of them. I do know that these go for $76.50, which is an awesome price for this knife. You cannot go wrong with Civivi. I will leave a link to this knife down in the description section. And if you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave it down in the comments section. You know I love talking to you. Therapeutic Edge is laughing out there. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you here all the time. And until next time, thanks for joining me.